Okay, let's go.
Hey guys, Ron from FunctionBuilt-Aquatics. Today we're going to discuss a setup that's been in the works for quite some time. I'm going to do a few videos on this particular tank and we'll break down some of the important parts of it as far as the internals, the inhabitants, the water flow, the filtration, and why I chose not to go with substrate. But today this video is going to be on a piece of equipment that I have been absolutely enthralled with since I started using it over 8 weeks ago. That piece of equipment is my sulfur nitrate reactor. That particular piece of equipment has been able to lower my nitrates from 80 parts per million down to 0 in roughly 8 weeks time. And I'm very, very happy with the investment in time and energy and obviously the money I put into it. My nitrates in this particular setup were around 80 parts per million. You're going to get that with 9 plecos in a setup that get fed pretty much all day. And this is the reactor I was just discussing. The nitrate sulfur reactor was designed in wastewater management. So I knew that it had a place in fresh water, even though the saltwater guys seem to have hijacked it. But I knew it had a place in fresh water and it would have a place in my setup. The yellow media inside this reactor is the sulfur beads where the denitrifying bacteria resides in an oxygen-poor environment. And that bacteria absorbs and consumes nitrates, as you can imagine. I mean, consumes, not absorbs. Let me correct that. And in time, it lowered my traits from 80 to 100. That is the circulation pump, which actually drives the water through the media. And then inside the tank, we have a feed pump, which has 2 outlets. It's on a manifold system, one to release some of the head pressure, and the other is coming out of the reactor, which is the effluent water, at 1 drop every 2 seconds. So it comes out of the reactor very, very slowly. But when the water discharges from the reactor, it's exactly at 0 parts per million nitrates. 0. Negligible, non-detectable nitrates. And that's what I was looking to do. Another way I knew that the reactor was working was that the algae growth on the rocks started to recede because it no longer had the fuel it needed to survive in the amount that it was growing. So this reactor has absolutely proven to be an asset. Now, it's an expensive piece of equipment. It's not complicated to use, but it's not for everyone. But I'm sure it can be adapted at different sizes for different setups. I do my water changes twice a week on this setup, but they just were not allowing the traits to budge. So basically the reactor was made the difference in this particular tank. So we'll discuss more about this setup later on down the road in other videos, but today it's mostly about the nitrate reactor. So Ron from FunctionBuilt-Aquatics, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. See ya.